All right. Well, I'm glad everybody came today and is a part of this. We're hoping today to have a kind of a robust discussion on video solutions in light of the craziness that's happened in our context. So we've asked Kevin Presseault. Kevin is the pastor at Greenbelt Baptist Church in Ottawa. And he's been doing video, and he's gone the full gamut of things in that context for a while now. And so he also is a self-professed tech junkie, and and so he loves all things tech and these things. So he's had lots of solutions, lots of ideas. And so what we're going to do is ask Kevin to just talk about this. And so guys, if you're on with us, mute your mic. If you have a question, unmute, ask the question, and then when you're done, mute again, and we'll do that because we are recording the session. So Kevin, thanks for joining our church planters here at Feb Central and helping us with this.
Yeah, no, it's great to be with you guys, and I recognize some faces. So some of you I do know personally. Most of you I don't. So it's great to meet with you and get together with you in this way. So just a little bit of background that I wanted to share just with this whole kind of church online, the whole new age that we kind of find ourselves in. My background before becoming a pastor was I spent 14 years as a computer consultant. I was actually saved. I came to a saving faith in Christ through an online ministry in 1998. So that was actually back in the days when, most of us were still dialing into our websites and chat boards and things like that. So it was an online ministry that helped me come to Christ in my late 20s. And so I have always believed in the power of the digital platform to reach more and more people for Christ. And so as a computer consultant, my specialty was in collaboration. So I used to travel around the world helping companies work smarter and more efficiently together. And then I got saved. The church I went to was really good at equipping people. They equipped me, they let me start preaching, they trained me up, and they released me into ministry. And then I've been pastoring now for almost 15 years. But when I made that switch from the computer world to the church world, one of the big things I noticed was we don't always know how to collaborate really well as a church. And so that was kind of some of these technological challenges that I started dealing with right away, even 15 years ago, was how do certain ministries all work well together and use tools as what they are. They're tools. Right? The tool is not the thing to love. We love the mission, and the mission is to seek and save the lost for Jesus. And so any tool that will help in the mission of seeking and saving the lost, for me, that is something that is very important and crucial, right? Because when people know I'm a technology guy, when I love church online, when I love these platforms, it's not about the tool, it's about the mission. And so we've been on a journey. I've been on a personal journey when it comes to online tools, again, because I was saved through one. And so I'm always looking at new ways that we can be innovative. And I'm also incredibly cheap. I like to do everything on a zero budget. So I know church planters love that number. When it's zero, that's awesome. So I'm going to just kind of share some of the options that we've played with. And I'm assuming with a group of this size, some of you have some things, some of you have nothing. And so I just want to kind of give just a couple of quick things of here are kind of some of the options that we've kind of gone through. And because I've played with pretty much all of these, then I can answer a lot of questions. And so we could open it up and make it more of a conversation than a presentation. So the very first thing that when I started presenting online solutions here at our church in Ottawa, I actually had to do a big convincing of our leadership because like in a lot of established churches, we would have, back in the day, we had our tape ministry or our CD ministry or our MP3 ministry. And the goal was always get the pastor's sermon into people's hands, right? So a lot of these solutions that we're looking at are, how do I make sure more and more people can get my sermon? So the first thing I had to do with my church and my leadership is actually convince them that the most important thing that we do as a church is not my sermon. And as a preacher, that pains me to say it, but I actually believe this to the core of my being. The most important thing that's happening with online is not to just get my sermon out, but it's to keep the family of God connected and engaged with their personal discipleship, growing together and reaching lost people. And if my sermon is a part of that work, awesome. So when I first got here, we used to have, our audio sermons loaded up onto a web page, a website that about 3 people a year visited, and sermons may have been downloaded once or twice a year in MP3. So the first thing we did was move to video. We bought a $40 camera from Walmart. They were on sale. Stuck it in the, basically with duct tape and love, attached it to the ceiling and just started recording video. So then when we went from audio to video, we had to jump from 3 people downloading a sermon a week to probably about 70. And then, when is about 6 years ago now, 5 years ago now, when Facebook started Facebook Live, we basically were one of the first churches in Ottawa to just turn it on, because I'm a little bit addicted to social media. I'm on social media a lot. Knew that tool was coming out, been following it while it was in beta, had early access to it while it was in beta. We turned it on, and then suddenly we saw our views shoot from 100 to suddenly we were reaching about 700 to 800 people a week around the world. And I think it was just because the tool was new, right? So we played around with that. So what we've begun to do now is move off of kind of the social media platforms like Facebook or YouTube that's doing the live streaming of Sunday morning. And the reason, we started playing with the moving off was I wanted to find ways to actually reach more and more people outside of Sunday morning. Again, if we're trying to use Sunday morning sermons, worship as a tool to reach more and more people for Christ, how could we actually get and reach people who are just never going to be available on Sunday morning? We can't do enough services. I can't get enough volunteers to run multiple services during the week. So I started looking into ways that we could run services, and not just to have a video on YouTube that we send people to all week, but how do we actually interact and engage with people in a meaningful way all week long? So a number of years ago, and actually this was still when I was actually working at a church plant in Waterloo for a couple of years. And it was during that time when I learned about Craig Rochelle and their ministry out of Oklahoma City, and a lot of the stuff that they were doing online. And we were actually, we became a network church for a while, where Craig Rochelle becomes the teaching pastor. We downloaded the videos on Saturday night, and I became like the lead pastor for discipleship and outreach. And then Sunday morning was taken care of by video. And during that time, that's when I learned about their church online platform, and where they actually developed an interactive environment for how we can be broadcasting services multiple times a week, and with very minimal effort and very minimal cost, reach more and more people through these tools. And so this has been kind of a project of mine, more of just as a hobby. I volunteer an hour a week with Church Online. I actually got to go down to Oklahoma City last April to learn all of their back end and how everything works. And the beauty of their ministry is they just open the doors. They want everyone to use it. They give it away for free. They just want to be a blessing to the Big C Church. So all their tools and resources are available. So this platform is available. So I started learning that just as a hobby, just to kind of hope maybe one day I could roll this out. Never could get it really. No one at the church was catching on to it. My elder board was never really catching on to it until last Friday. Where suddenly on Friday, we are now officially making decisions that we have to shut everything down. Any kind of large, originally we were told, oh, as long as you're under 250, that's okay. Hey, we run 3 services. We have actually a very small building, so we only have 200 chairs. So for us to grow, it's multiple services. We have 3 services running now. So we never have more than 250. We're good. But then the decision came on, was it Sunday afternoon, that they wanted it, all gatherings over 50 people to stop. And so that starts hitting more and more churches, and now they want small groups to stop meeting. And so suddenly this tool that was just a little hobby of Pastor Kevin's has now officially rolled out. And it's all hands on deck. All the volunteers are working on it. All the staff is behind it. All the elders are behind it. And we're rolling this out as of this Saturday for a full interactive online church experience. So we've played with every single level of it. So again, I know a lot about this stuff, and I know where a lot of, again, just potentially where you're at. And again, for me, the heart behind this stuff is, how do we keep our church family engaged, right? How do we keep reaching out to the church? And at the same time, how are we making sure, like, especially in my context, how are we still, caring for a lot of our seniors who are not as tech savvy as well? And so we're putting those kind of solutions in place. Yeah, Mike, I see you kind of raising a finger.
Well, just as you go through this, is there anything that we can explore on this? Like, can we look at the platform while you talk about it, or would that be distracting? Or?
No, I could actually show my screen after and show you what it does, if anyone's curious about that. Might be, yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to interrupt. I'm just saying, if there's.
I could definitely show it.
How it's.
Yeah, I for some
working.
people who, if there's anyone here who's kind of going from absolutely nothing, to trying now to figure out what to do, Church Online might meet a bigger jump for some. It's actually really easy to use, because what Church Online does is the difference between Facebook Live is live, right? So you got your worship team on the stage, you're preaching, you got it, whether it's a camera or your cell phone, whatever you're using, you're going live onto either Facebook or YouTube. What Church Online is, it's what's called simulated live. So you pre-make a video worship service, so you record your worship teams, you record your, your greeting, your host, your announcement about giving, how to give, your sermon, and you kind of make a worship service on video, you host it, and then when people log into the platform, if your service starts at 10 a.m., it starts playing automatically at 10 a.m. If somebody signs in at 10:15, they start watching the video as of 10:15. So everybody is watching at the exact same time, the exact same moment. So that's what we call the simulated live. So like I said, so I don't know, like, show of hands, how many of your churches you got like Facebook Live running? How many you got? 3? Okay, anyone using YouTube Live? No. Anyone like who's getting their sermons online, video, any bit of video? Who's got nothing? Okay, you guys, good. No, that's good. No, it's good to know. So for you guys who've got maybe nothing, maybe if I could ask you, what are you guys starting to think of? Like, what's your number one kind of concern?
I think I was the only one to raise my hand. I don't really have any concerns. We're a pretty small group of 20, 25 people at this point. And
Right.
What we're interested in, I talked to my leaders, and we're all leaning towards the live session. So using something like Zoom or GoToMeeting, something like that.
Okay. And is that predominantly just to kind of keep people connected, like more like through small group type stuff, or is that kind of what you're thinking of for your to replace your Sunday gathering?
Yeah, so it's good that Michael left. We're running missional communities. We have 2 running right now. And so our focus is not just on getting sermons out on the Sunday. It's actually like if the virus is not going on, we meet 3 times a week as a family. And so trying to get that to go digital, just to have that human interaction, which I think is important for all of us. So just trying to facilitate that. So the interest here is not really to record sermons or have an online presence necessarily, but just to have that connect in these times.
Sure. Cool.
So just on the, sorry, I've been experimenting this past week with Facebook Live. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So just what are the pros you saw for switching over in your context for, you're talking about engaging with your service, and if you do simulated live, do you lose some of that interactivity and connectiveness with it? What was the catalyst for switching?
So you actually get a lot more interactivity features available, and I can kind of show you the tool and how it works to show you what you can do with it. One of the reasons, so I've actually had as one of my to-do projects for a while now was to actually get completely off of Facebook. I'm not an anti-Facebook guy. I'm not that guy, but a lot of people are. And so, and also, I've got a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old at home who never ever log on to Facebook. So if I want to be a church that's reaching the next generation, I'm not reaching them on Facebook. Again, I'm a data guy, so I look at the analytics, I look at the statistics, because I believe numbers and data show us a story. Right now on our Facebook, we are incredibly popular with 55 to 65-year-old ladies. That's our highest demographic on Facebook Live. And hey, I remind my wife how popular I am with the older ladies, so that helps my marriage. That's very cool, and keeps it spicy. But that may not necessarily be our target that we're trying to reach. So I want to be on whatever platform my kids are on, not the platform that my mother's on, because I want to reach the next generation. So I've already had the project in mind to get off of Facebook for that reason. And that's just my personal bias to start building something on another platform that, kids are currently on. But Facebook Live is a fantastic option. It works great. And you could literally take your cell phone. If you've got a new high quality phone, I shoot, I've got a Galaxy S9. My phone, it's a little old already. It's about 1.5 years old. But, if we actually just put this on a tripod, stuck it in front of the stage, we had a little, I'd have to ask my tech guy what it is, this little tiny white thing we bought on Amazon that from the soundboard goes into this thing and plugged into my auxiliary in my phone, so that the sound going into the soundboard was then what was being broadcast. It was like a $35 thing on Amazon. And that's actually how we started. Worked fantastic. It's definitely a good starting point, but for us, the switch to get off of it was so that we can start making sure that we're reaching the next generation. Cool, my son's trying to call me. I'm just checking that out, sorry. I have him on graphic design duty this morning to get this thing launched, so he's plugging away.
So other than Facebook, what other platforms, you mentioned the Life Church
right
tool.
Yeah.
What other platforms would be available, or would be, maybe a good place to look?
Yeah. If you were going to start, if you were starting with something, if you don't currently have any kind of live streaming right now, I would actually, and this is just my opinion, I would actually just start, instead of starting Facebook Live, I would jump over to YouTube. I would use YouTube Live. YouTube, again, more kids are on YouTube than Facebook. You have a better reach of connecting with more people. There's more users on YouTube than Facebook. And the beauty of YouTube is you could still use YouTube anonymously, whereas Facebook, well, anonymously. They always know what you're doing online, but you're not necessarily signing in. You don't have to create a Facebook account to watch videos on YouTube.
Right.
So I would actually start there instead of Facebook. But like I said, the Church Online tool, which I can show you, still requires your video to be hosted somewhere. So we prepare videos now. So we're kind of, producing some videos right now, and we're hosting them on YouTube, but we keep them private. So we keep them hidden. So you can't just find the video and watch the video on YouTube. Because for me, it's not about the video, it's about the interactivity with the volunteers. And I'll show you the tool. There's prayer partners. People can sign up for private prayer. There's access to the Bible app to it. They can follow along sermon notes. There's just a lot of more ways to interact with the tool. So I could just jump over and I could show you the tool if you want me to do that.
Just before you do that.
Yeah.
So how long would it take? So if I decided today I want to take a church from we got nothing.
Yep.
And I want to go to using Church Online.
Yep.
And do this. And I've got somebody who will do the video recording and we can put it on YouTube. We can do that.
Yep.
How long would it take me to go from zero to getting using Church Online?
It'll take you about 10 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
It'll take you about 10 minutes and $0.
Wow. Okay. So why don't you show us this tool?
Okay. So, Mike?
Just the one question. Can we, I think I heard Jeremiah interact on this. Can we use the same software to just run like a great prayer meeting or a great discussion meeting? Similar to what we're doing here with Zoom? Or is this mostly just a video shot of one place and then the interactive stuff is on the side?
No, so you can create in the tool, so you can create multiple events that happen at a scheduled time. Okay. And so the event goes live at the time that you designate it. It opens up a chat that's available. So it plays a video, but if you don't have a video, it'll just sit there and it will open up this chat. So people could just chat through the tool during designated times, but you have to kind of preset how long this is going to be. So if you want to say, hey, we're going to have a prayer session at, like right now, our site is live.greenbelt.church. So at 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to have a prayer session. And the video that could be playing could just be some YouTube video that I found of instrumental worship music that just kind of playing. Or it doesn't even have to have a video, but it would open up the chat and then people can sign in and then, put in a nickname and we could just be praying for people in a chat room. And if someone would like private prayer, there's actually a way that they could request private prayer, and people that you designate as volunteers, you give them that access, then they can go into these private chat windows to pray privately with people one-on-one. Yeah. Because we were debating on if we could have rolled this out for all of our life groups, so our Bible studies that meet during the week as well. But just with the number of services that we're trying to run, with the Arabic service we're trying to run, and the number of groups we had, we decided to just use Zoom. We got a church account for Zoom, and we're going to do all the life groups through Zoom, just to kind of keep the two tools separate.
Actually, that's what I was going to ask you. So for more group meetings, have you experimented with Zoom? Because right now we've got 12 people on here and it seems to be just fine.
This is exactly what we're going to be doing for small groups. Yeah.
How is Skype compared to Zoom?
Pardon me?
How is Skype compared to Zoom?
Again, my personal bias, I don't like Skype. I think Skype crashes a lot. Zoom, the quality seems to be excellent. And again, if you don't want to pay for it, if you want a free option, Google Hangout. You can do it right through, if you have a Gmail account, Google Hangout, everyone has to download Chrome. That works fantastic, doesn't cost a nickel. The free version of Zoom, I think you're limited to 40 minutes. I think each meeting can only be about 40 minutes. But we actually use Google Hangout for all of our staff stuff now. All of our staff, if staff can't meet in person, we do all our stuff through Google Hangout. Yeah.
Kevin, can you share your screen and show us the Church Online tool, and then we can talk about it a little more?
Yeah, so let me just pull this up. Debating which one I got to show you. Okay, share screen.
Hi there.
All right, can everyone see this? Can you still hear me while I'm sharing this? Yeah, okay. So again, so I set up kind of a redirect URL, so because I wanted the website to be really interesting, really easy to remember. So live.greenbelt.church is, so ever since last Sunday, that's what we've been telling everybody to go to. I've been telling everyone to pre-register, sign up for it right now. You know what, I'm gonna just log out. So when someone logs into this tool, what they see right away, so you can see when the next event is going to happen, because I basically have created just kind of a temporary demo of what it's going to look like, just to kind of create some buzz. And because I also wanted to start getting this out sooner, I've also sent all this information to our local city councilor, so that, because he's going to be promoting this in their newsletter that goes out this Friday. And yeah, and I've already taken out like Google ads and Facebook ads and things, like spent a little bit of money to get this pushed out. So what you see on here is not final, but I needed something in here before people started showing up. So what you see on here, so you can see all of these links up here at the top are customizable. So you can put anything up here that you want. You can send people to your Facebook page. You can send people to your Twitter account, your Instagram. If you are capable of receiving online giving, if I click give, it brings us to our Canada Helps page to remind people, you know, the ministry is still happening even though we're not gathering. You know, about just brings us to our church website, so you can learn a little bit more about the church. Anyway, the website's a little slow right now here. And then the other thing that we're really promoting is, again, we want people connected. So we have a way for people, even in this time, to still sign into and join life groups that meet during the week. So during the video, we actually talk about this. Hey, click the link above if you need to find a group. They're kind of meeting via video conferencing. This is a great way for you to stay connected all week long. One of the things, again, as a social media guy that I like, over here on the left-hand side, you can actually invite people to your service. So if I click on the Twitter link, you can put in pre-made text in here with the link for people to show up to your service. Does the same thing for Facebook, or I could send an email to my contact list to invite them to my service. Okay. What's really cool about this is prayer, because we believe prayer is very important. And so in the times when you don't have a service running, people can request prayer 24/7. It just brings up this pop-up. And so people can enter in their, their name, their email, and what they would like prayer for. And again, for me, what I love about this is twofold, right? One, it gets us as a church praying for people. And two, gets me contact information to follow up with people, right? So we kind of take care of that. The other thing that's kind of cool is this remind me button. So if the service, you can see here, when our service is in 3 hours, I hit remind me. You put in your cell phone number and it will send you a text before the service starts.
So Kev,
Yeah.
You said 10 minutes. So
Yes.
like, have you created all of these side buttons like give, about,
Yep.
contact, or are those things that are like presets where people can just pick options and they become?
You just pick options.
So
You
like,
just have to put in your URL. You say, I want a give button. You select give, and then you put in, cut and paste your URL that brings you to your give page.
okay, so let's pause on that for 1 second.
Yeah.
What if I don't have a give page?
Yeah. Then you send your money
Like-
to Feb Central, and then Feb Central will cut a check back to you.
That's if you were a church planter watching this.
That's right.
Okay, but
If you're an existing church working through Feb Central, it doesn't work the same way. But our church planters have that option for sure. As long as the money is designated to your church plant, we can do that.
okay, so what I was really asking in that question, Kevin, is earlier before everybody logged on,
Yeah.
you and Tom were talking about giving being one of the most important things that people
Yes.
are reminded of, are encouraged to do and be faithful towards.
Yes.
So sincerely, at our church, we utilize mostly just people doing interact money transfers. Like they just
Sure.
through
Yep.
their bank, they just do
Yep.
that. We don't have a donate button.
Sure. Yep.
If I wanted to develop that utilizing this, like what steps have you guys taken if we're going to grow that and make that easier?
So the first thing, so if currently right now you're just telling people to use e-transfer,
Yeah.
you could actually have, like, so if you have a website, you guys have a website?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you'd have a page on your website that gives the instructions on how to give,
Got it.
and that link, that just points to that page.
Okay,
Because
good.
your instructions on how to do it.
So
And you can easily, within minutes, set up a Canada Helps option for your church as well. They do take 3% of the donation as a fee, but it certainly is. It may result in offerings coming into the church that wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah. 97% of the offering is better than 0.
oh, absolutely.
We actually had people in my church complaining that we had to pay 3%. I'm like, yeah, but these people wouldn't have given otherwise. They would have given 0. And once they realized that, they're like, okay, we'll take 97. So, and we've actually just moved to text to giving. Text to giving is 2%.
Well, and so just for everybody who's listening, I think the number one thing to take away from there is that give button that you can establish can easily just point to clear instructions.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Because the reason why we do interact is simply because it passes off that 3% or whatever to the individual. So we say, give what you're going to give, and then you pay the little $1.50 or whatever it costs for your bank to do it.
Right. Yep.
And our people don't have, like, they like that. Like, if it's going to be 3%, they'd rather they eat a little bit more and then give what they normally give. But the most important thing is to get them to that instructions page. And then, like you, if you have any other extra buttons or extra giving options, people just need a clear instruction on how to give regularly.
Right. Yep.
So would you ever set up an event that would have be reminders like coming this Tuesday night, entire church family going online and giving as an act of worship?
Yeah.
If I can, and I would, that's what we're text to give too, Kev. And it is a little bit of a, you have to set up an account. It's a little bit, the first time you do it, it takes 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
So I put those instructions on our website so that when I put it in the bulletin, it's directing that. So, cause it's hard to just, when we first initialized it, we had someone share, these are all the steps involved.
Right.
But you don't want to repeat it all the time.
You can't do that all the time. Yeah.
So if you have just a tab on your website where it says giving and it gives out the instructions, you can direct anyone there. whether they're a part of your church family or not, right? Like you just
Absolutely.
direct them there and gives them instructions.
Yeah.
Can I, we kind of I think we kind of leapfrogged a little bit, Kev.
Yes.
I just want to get back to something.
Sure.
When you were talking initially about, like Facebook Live, your phone or your laptop, you push a button, you can stream automatically, right?
Yes.
YouTube, I'm not 100%. I know I've posted videos to YouTube before.
Yes.
But they've been completed before I post them.
Yes. So YouTube has got there's an extra step you need to do for YouTube Live, because YouTube made a change this year that you cannot live stream from your phone unless you have 1,000 subscribers or more.
Okay.
And I've been working on my YouTube channel for 2 years like crazy. I'm up to 730. And it's like I still can't live stream from my phone. And it's not church stuff, it's geek stuff. That's how I connect with people. But what you can do is there's a tool called Streamlabs. So if you download the Streamlabs app on your cell phone, what you do is you connect Streamlab to your YouTube account, and then you can stream that way directly to YouTube from your cell phone.
So you guys right now, because you're streaming live, right?
Yes. Yep.
So you're going through. Are you going through Church Online with your live?
No, Church Online is a completely different thing. Yeah.
It's Life Church or what? Life?
Yeah.
Life Church.
Yeah. The Church Online platform is the simulated live. It's not live.
Okay. So what are you? So you're using a digital camera? I would assume not a phone at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
A digital camera, and so it's going. So are you uploading it to
YouTube?
Life Church?
No.
Or where is it?
Well, so the video itself is hosted on YouTube.
Okay.
We just keep it unlisted so people can't find it and watch it on YouTube.
Hidden, yeah. Instead of public, hidden, and they don't need a password. They just need the link.
Just have then when you, and I'll show you how we do this. We actually build events in the Church Online platform, and you embed the link to your YouTube video, and then it takes care of the rest.
Yeah. Okay, that was because right now, like, I mean, just for ease of use.
Yeah.
I have a real tech guy who he's working today, but I'm thankful that we're going to record this because he'll watch over this with much intense pleasure. But just for me, for ease of use, like I'm not, because we don't have a church building either, right? So we're just I'm just, as you see now, that's what I do on Sunday. I just sit at my desk and I go. I've seen others, where you're in the sanctuary or in the auditorium, or you have the worship team standing by and stuff like that, which again, so it adds that stuff. So just ease of use right now, we're Facebook Live, but we're open to whatever we can do. How are you, do you do your whole service or just the message?
I do the whole service.
So are you using the for the music that's used then?
Yes.
You pay the extra for the performance thing, the
whatever. The CCLI streaming license.
Yeah.
I think it costs like an extra $25.
70.
Is it 70?
70 American, I just checked yesterday.
Okay.
Kevin, do your kids stay in for the whole service, or do parents send them to their rooms for the sermon now that they're all at home?
That's good. I don't know yet. I'm gonna leave that. That's a parent's problem, not my problem. But we've actually had the conversation, especially now that kids are home for the next 3 weeks. What kind of resources are we making available online to help parents keep their kids entertained in a spiritual way to help them continue to grow in their faith?
Yeah,
So
we're doing that too. And
we
my
actually
thing
found
is just a joke.
a bunch of resources online for kids for free, and these are the ones we recommended, and this is what we're sending to families.
We're actually using it a little bit. We're going to try to send out some advertisements into our community to kind of poke the community a little bit on that and say, are you tired of your crazy kids?
Exactly.
5 ways to kind of help,
Right.
Are your kids horrible? Well, we at the church love kids, here's a few ideas. Like we're trying to actually poke into the community and use it beyond our people a little bit. So
yep,
that's a great idea.
Well, and here's the thing too, if this is actually helpful for you guys, like, so our church has a Right Now Media account, which is like the Christian version of YouTube for Bible studies and kids programming. We're actually turning it off in May because my church doesn't use it. But if you guys want to piggyback off of that until the month of May, just email me, kevin@greenbelt.church. I'll give you a license and you can share it with everybody. Like we're allowed to share it with as many people as we're connected with as we want. And you can give people access to kids curriculum and kids stuff. But I'm turning it off in May, so because I'm not paying for it after that. But if you want to use it now, email me. So yeah, so going back to the tool here. So again, this is what you see when you log in before a service starts. Down at the bottom, you got the chat that's available. You know, I have like the outline here. Like, so on Saturday when it goes live, the sermon outline is going to be here, as well as small group questions. So for people to discuss the messages in their life groups. You see the schedule, and you know what? And it's also got access to the YouVersion Bible app directly in here too, so people can be looking up scripture and follow along. Okay. I'm just going to switch over to, so what I've been doing, because we have an Arabic ministry as well here now. So the version that we have is a little different than what yours would look like if you create it, because of the situation that we're in right now, they've made it even faster for churches to get up and running. So they've made kind of a streamlined version of it. So I'm going to show you the new one so you can see what this would look like if you sign up. So I literally, this took me 10 minutes to do. I went to the Church Online platform, I hit sign up, and I created kind of greenbeltarabic.online.church. So now, again, the beauty of this tool is anyone can use this tool in their language. So if I just turn on Arabic, now automatically you see everything on the site turn to the language that's being used. What's really cool about this is if I sit here in English, and when the chat is turned on, if I type in English, anyone who's turned on Arabic, they would see my English text in Arabic. And when they type in Arabic, I would see it in English. So we're going to launch this weekend for our Arabic service. And I, as the pastor overseeing this ministry with our Arabic leaders, I can still log in and I can actually still pastor our Arabic congregation better this way than I could in person. Because I can't speak the language in person, right? And you know, Robin can vouch for that. You know, my Arabic sucks. Yeah,
mine too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of what the new tool will look like. Your video is in kind of this big black screen. You know, this still has the pop-up to request prayer. And then the chat happens here. The Bible is here. Again, and the beauty of this is, again, if I change my language to a different language, now it brings up the Bible in my language of choice as well. Right.
So again, this is, if we go to, it's Church Online, or what's the actual website we go to sign up if we want to sign up?
If you want to sign up, you go to, I'm just Googling it here because I don't remember it by heart, churchonlineplatform.com.
Okay.
Yeah. You come to churchonlineplatform.com, you sign up, it asks you for your name, your email address, what do you want your website to be called? You know, it's got a little tick box, you know, you are promising us you're a church and you're not something inappropriate, because they're trying to speed up the process right now to get more and more churches connected because of the situation we're in. It used to take 48 hours to get your site up and running. Now it's instant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's what a great tool.
Yeah. And so you can sign up. And so this is what I did. Whoops. Here. Come on, you. It's not letting me. This thing's in the way. I can't pick the tab. There we go. So with the Arabic ministry, for example, so now if I sign in, so I'm going to log into my account. So now what this does, this is what volunteers and leaders see. So when I log in as a leader, there's, you know, the main part on the left, that's kind of the public part that people would see. If there was a video playing, you'd see it. You'd have over on the far right, the live chat that happens, but then there's also private chat just for your volunteers. So let's say you're getting a bunch of people are say, you know, kind of asking for prayer. I could go, hey, Danielle, could you pray for, you know, Jen? Yeah, because I actually like to try to keep the private prayer. Life Church recommendation, and I think it's a good recommendation, is always to kind of keep private prayer gender specific. So men pray with men, women pray with women as much as possible. Just so you can be just above reproach and hopefully get really real with one another through the tool here. To set all of this up again, so now that I'm logged in as a leader, I can come in here and I have access to the admin tool. This is where you set it up. So again, I'm a data guy. I love the fact that it has a lot of really cool analytics available. So you can kind of see when people are signing in, how many people are accessing it. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to set it up, right? So you're going to set up the tool, pick your church, put your banner in, pick a background color, and then what do you want for your navigation links? This is, Mike, what you were talking about, what happens up at the top, right? It's pre-selected. You can have up to 5, you know, and it's got, okay, about, action, app, back, you know, and you pick what you want, you know, and go YouTube, and then I post my YouTube, the link to my YouTube page here, hit save, and then you've got it on there, you're done. Okay, so those are just some basic stuff that you want to set up for the look of your site. Exit without saving. So the offline options is you can actually have an embedded video, so that when you don't have your service running, like I don't have it here now, but I have a little video that's, you know, from me that I just recorded on my phone. You know, hey, it's Pastor Kevin. It's so great that you're here at Greenbelt Church. You know, our services are running. I really hope you'll come back and join us. You know, in the meantime, just click the sign up, and you'll be notified when the next service comes on. It's just something that's there. And also, if people pray offline, so when they don't have a service running, but someone comes on and wants to send a prayer request in, that pop-up that showed up, I can send that information to one of my volunteers. So right now for the Arabic ministry, well, I'm sending this to Suhail, you know, to be praying for people and connect with people. He's one of our elders who oversees our Arabic ministry. And then just basic information about your church, your time zone, your address, email consent. So this is just kind of so when someone signs up for this platform, I require everyone to tick a box. Do you give me email consent or not? That way, when they come in here and they register in here as users, I can then see if they've given email consent, and then I can load this into my email system and start emailing them in my weekly email that goes out. Again, because I'm trying to connect with people as much as possible. Right.
Yeah, I love that this is so relational, and it builds that.
It's about people. It really is. That's the heart. It's about reaching people for Christ.
Yeah, it kind of flies in the face of you know, this is just a TV church, and this is just
absolutely
consumerism at its best. This is in community.
Yeah, well, and I've been volunteering for the last 4 years with Craig Rochelle's ministry, so that's why they invited me to Oklahoma to learn about this even more. So every Wednesday morning, I volunteer at the 8:30 Central Time service. They run 91 services all week long, and just this morning at 8:30 Central Time, my team, we led 3 people to Christ.
Wow, like, that's awesome.
Every Wednesday morning, I lead people to Christ.
Wow.
And some you know about, and some you don't, because some are anonymous. And but there's actually a tool when the sermon goes, when the preacher preaches the gospel, a pop-up banner comes up in the chat saying, "Would you like to accept Christ?" They click it, it tracks the salvations, and then it brings up a pop-up for you to connect with them, to say, "Hey, we want to connect with you. We want to pray with you. We want to get you into a group. We want to send you a Bible," whatever you decide to do as a ministry. it allows you to follow up with
Yeah, you can
people
follow
who
up
accept
with-
Christ.
Well, yeah, because I mean, without the follow-up, you never know what.
Absolutely. And you can only follow up as much as they want to give you information. Like, it's really up to them. If they don't, they don't. But those who do, it's been amazing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So again, so then what you do finally, so when you got it, you did all the setup, then you create your service. So basically you just click the add service button, pick a time when you want it to run. You know, do you want to run it daily, just weekly on Sunday morning? You say it's going to be, okay, I'm going to pick, you know, Sunday morning. It's going to run weekly on Sunday at 10 a.m. I save it. And then it put it in my list somewhere, 10 a.m. So now I need to add content to it. Click the add content. What is it? It's an hour long. You can turn the chat on or off. You know, if you're not comfortable with public chat, you're worried about trolls coming in and disrupting your service, you can turn that off, but you can keep the prayer on. You know, so it's got the different options here. And then where is your video? It's like, well, it's on YouTube. And so, you know, do I have it? No, I thought I had one still cut and pasted, but I could just put a video in there. Any notes that I have, my sermon outline can be here. You know, Bible study questions can go here. And then host info. This is if I have training information for my volunteers. I'd put this here and only they could see it. So one of the things that I've done, and again, I just stole this from Life Church because they let us, is that if I log in as a volunteer and I go to my host tool, you know, so I've got, so this is information here that only my volunteers can see. And I've got this suggested chat blurb. I've pre-written out stuff for people to chat with. So it's like, so instead of having to type all this every time someone comes, I can just say, hey, everyone, welcome to Greenbelt Online. I can take this, copy this, go back to my tool, paste, and then I'm instantly chatting with people that way. So just saves hours of typing and spelling mistakes.
Wow. And this is all free.
All free. 100. So again, so you could, and again, any size of church. So I've seen churches take this literally, again, with their cell phone, a guy and a guitar, you know, sings 3 or 4 songs on his guitar. Pastor gets up, prays, gives a 20-minute Devo, 30-minute message, then someone prays and dismissed. They take that video, you load it onto YouTube, and then you build this into this, and it feels like you're in church, but the beauty is these volunteers who sign up, these users who sign up into the system, and then you give them, I can't remember, this is the new version, I'm not as familiar with the new one. So you give them roles.
Okay.
You know, you can say this person's a host. They have access to pray individually with people. They get that's different look and feel when they log in. It's, for me, it's that personal interaction, especially when you're reaching people right now. Like, there's so many like opportunities to reach people. Our site got 165 people logged into it on Sunday morning, and we didn't even launch it yet because we were still worshiping in the building this past Sunday. But people were already looking for online options, and the beauty of, again, of this tool compared to Facebook is then you can set up your Google Analytics, your Google Ads, all that. You know, spend a little bit of money to promote it, and then Google takes over. Whereas when it's in Facebook, it's a little bit more limiting on how advertising works. It's got to be within Facebook.
So
That's
Kev,
great.
so Kev, when you're just talking, so is it packaged then? But because you haven't uploaded it, right? So it's not live, right? Like you have 2 services. So do you record the first one, and then how long does that uploading take? I guess maybe that's what I'm asking.
Sure. So it kind of depends on how you want to do it. So right now, what we're about to launch. So I've been working this week with all of our volunteers and our team because we've shut down Sunday, like I think most of us have, right? So I might be breaking a few. We have a few volunteers getting together. We're not as isolated. I've got 10 people in the building worshiping together. So last Monday night we had about 10 people here, and we recorded a worship service. We recorded 4 songs. Our worship pastor Paul, like, he prayed in between the songs. We recorded that. Yesterday afternoon, I had Danielle, my wife, here. So she's kind of the welcome, the MC for the service. I had her record 3 weeks of messages yesterday. As soon as I'm done this call, I have to finish writing. I'm writing 3 sermons right now to get all 3 of them recorded by Friday. I probably only have 1 of them written, and the other 2 I might make up on the fly. But I'm trying to get them recorded early.
So what?
And then we're taking all that stuff that we've done this week, put it into a video, like a 1 hour video, and uploading that video to YouTube.
So what are you using to like edit and like merge all that content together?
iMovie.
iMovie?
Yeah. $9.99 on our iMac.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are there any other questions, guys? This has been a lot of information, a lot of really great stuff, Kevin. It's been really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Guys, do you have questions? Did you come in with questions that didn't get answered that you want to ask? Or are there other questions related to this material that you'd like to ask?
Can I go on?
Yes,
2
go
quick
ahead,
ones?
Robin.
First one is for the .church domain. That comes with the website, right?
It comes with the tool. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you sign up, so like when you saw it says like Greenbelt Arabic.online.church, I just selected Greenbelt Arabic.
Okay.
When it said that was available, boop, it built the rest.
Perfect.
Yeah,
and
so
for the YouTube live stream, sorry, for the YouTube live stream, you guys, are you streaming it on the website as well as on YouTube? Like, I know you can have like an embedded URL which you can put on the website.
Yeah.
So are you doing it on both?
We haven't been doing it only because the guy who used to do our website left the church last year, and I've been doing it since, and I only have so much time, so I turned that off.
Okay.
But it's easy. If you got a tech person it's not hard to do. It's just an embedded thing. It's a little tricky with the live because the ID might change from week to week.
Right.
So you might have to just update the website every week.
Okay. Okay.
And I just wanted one less thing to do. So our website is actually very static. We don't update the website regularly. It's here's when we meet, here's what we do. Go to social media for more detailed information, because social media is easier to modify than a web page.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Any other last questions? I don't want to take too long. We've been an hour now, and it's been fantastic. Anything else?
I got a question.
Yep. Oliver?
Would it be possible to kind of watch one of your sermons, Kevin, or like one of your services, so that we could get an idea of how the user experience is?
Sure. Let's do this. Let me close this. Let me go here.
Like, you can probably just provide us a URL or a link, then we can.
Yeah. Well, so you can go there. I mean, if you want to do it, later on this afternoon, if you go to live.greenbelt.church. And then what I can do, because then I can go in here and so what's currently there is a sample video. It's only about 6 minutes long, because this is the thing. So we've actually been preparing to really upgrade our live stream. Right now I'm using 2 $40 webcams that are up in the ceiling and just shooting down. And that's all we've been doing, but we just approved a new budget at the end of February to upgrade all of our cameras and change everything. So all this gear we just started buying, not realizing that we were going to be completely changing how we needed the gear. So it's kind of God's timing. So we wanted everyone to see that we've just went from here in our video quality now up to here. So what you'll see on here is just a sample. But what I'll do is I'll actually create an event so that then it will run again at, modify this. Well, you know what? Let me do this. Yeah, so at 2:30, if you go on the website right now, at 2:30, and I'm gonna turn the chat on. Chat is on, so that's good. So again, if you go to live.greenbelt.church, it'll say the next event is starting in 27 minutes. And if you go on there, I'll be on there as well. So you can see what it looks like, and you could chat with me there.
Right, thank you.
Okay. Any last questions? We'll give time for one more. Anybody? Okay.
I just want to say thanks, Kev. I've been texting this on to the guys at my church who oversee this stuff. So
yeah,
a number of points and a number of the websites. So I've just been forwarding this on to them as you've given it.
Yeah.
And already I'm getting guys getting back to me saying, having a look at it and like, wow, this is super easy. And
it really is.
Thanks for some of this.
Well, no, I appreciate it. And again, I'm happy to answer people's questions. I'm a little busy right now getting this off the ground, but just shoot me a message, Kevin at greenbelt.church. I'm always happy to help out. I'm helping out a lot of our churches here in the city as well to get this up and running. I really see this as an amazing opportunity to reach more and more people for Christ. I really do. And it's been fascinating because I've been trying, no word of a lie, I have been trying to roll out this ministry at my church for the past 5 years. And it was always no, no, no. But as soon as you have to close your Sunday service, oh boy, does everybody vote yes real fast. So I've been given a lot of freedom since Friday. and we rolled it out in a day, but you can get this done by this afternoon, like easy.
Well, this is going to be a huge help to all of us, Kevin. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, glad to. Anytime.
Just really appreciate it. Thank you for that. Just one last thing for everybody. We've recorded this session. It will be posted on our Feb Central Facebook page so that you can watch it again and get some things that maybe you skimmed over, or if you came in late to see the beginning point of it. But again, thank you, Kevin, for joining us and being a part in this. And we just just so grateful for what you're doing in serving in Ottawa and in serving our church planters in this way. So thanks again.
That was a real joy. Glad to.
Okay, guys. See you all, and blessings.
All right.